Hello guys, how are you all doing? When I first moved to Thailand a few years ago, I was overwhelmed by the culture and language. I was more confused because I realized I've got to teach English to a group of students who could barely express themselves. As a way forward, I decided to learn the language. But few years down the road, was it a wise decision? Is it okay to speak Thai in the classroom? Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is NDANGOH'S Diary, and for today's video, I'll be discussing the pros and cons of using Thai in an ALS classroom. Should you be speaking Thai during your classes? Well, it's normal that many new teachers or even experienced teachers might be tempted with the prospect of speaking Thai in the classroom, especially if they can actually speak and perhaps read and write the language. But is it a good thing to do? I'll start with the positive of you understanding and speaking Thai in your classroom. It's normal that if your students know that you can express yourself in Thai, they will be happy because they easily identify with you and they are excited and impressed by the fact that you have actually made out time to learn the language. And because of your proficiency in the language, understanding will be much more easier. Imagine yourself translating a vocabulary in English into Thai language. The students will be excited. And because of this single fact, you may find out that more students will tend to love your class and they will definitely want to study more with you. Because, hey, come on, who wouldn't want to study with a teacher that can speak his or her language? Another advantage of you communicating in Thai during your English class is that it helps to build relationship. Students will feel more connected to you, and not just students, teachers alike, and even the parents, because they know they have a working language. They can easily speak to you with little or no difficulties. However, there is a downside to you speaking Thai in your classroom. You've got to agree with me that you are employed to teach English conversation to your students, and your school is paying you high money to teach English, not for you to speak in Thai. I'm sure most directors wouldn't care if it's impressive for you to understand and speak their language. They want you to communicate in English to help the student body to grow in the language. So if you speak English, they'll definitely find it offensive and unprofessional, and it becomes more bad if it's stated in your contract that you shouldn't speak Thai in the classroom. So this is one of the downsides why you may want to think twice before using Thai. Another disadvantage of you using Thai in your classroom is that it promotes redundancy and laziness. The truth is, students who are not quite good in English would rather want you to speak more in Thai because it's easier for them to understand. They will make little or no effort to communicate in English. So once they know that you can speak in Thai, they will keep telling you all the time that, teacher, can you speak in Thai? Because I do not understand English. So this is a huge setback, especially if your target is to teach communication in English. And the last major setback of you speaking Thai in your classroom is the very fact that it makes you look amateurish, unprofessional. Yeah. Think of it. If you're working in a school where there are many English teachers, you get to realize that very few teachers use Thai in the classroom. Not because they can't speak Thai. I bet you many teachers in Thailand tend to speak Thai. They make a time to learn the language. But they wouldn't want to use it in the workplace because it's not a working language and it's not right. So if they see you speaking Thai, it will be like you can't speak English. You're short of English vocab. And as a professional who presents his or herself as an English speaker, it is detrimental to your professional profile because everybody might think that you can't speak, that's why you're speaking Thai. And it might even compromise your integrity and pronunciation because, hey, think of it this way, even your Thai colleague might hear you pronouncing a word and they will feel like perhaps you are not pronouncing this word correctly because you're more attached to the Thai language, which is affecting your accent. So you've got to be careful. Too much use of Thai may affect your professional integrity. So these are the few points I think I should share with you that highlights why you should or shouldn't use Thai in your classroom. Whatever decision you decide to make as to the use of Thai in the classroom is up to you. But I've presented my fact as a fellow teacher, and I've equally highlighted why I think you shouldn't use the language in the classroom. However, knowing how to speak Thai will help you in your day-to-day life in the kingdom, because if you go to the market or you are in the villages interacting with Thais, communication wouldn't be a problem. Thanks for watching, and please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to smash the subscribe button. And if you have any question, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section of this video. See you next time. Bye for now.